What up?
Am I muted? Oh man. Good evening, everyone. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Good evening, everyone, man. We are here, Wrestling Off Air, NXT review. We got a different panel tonight. You got me hosting it. We don't got Clark. Clark will be back tomorrow. I hope y'all not mad. We ain't gonna burn the house down. But I got a great panel. First and foremost, to my left, I got my regular Tuesday night tag team champions of the world. What y'all mean? What's good with you, Drizzy?
I'm good. What is going on, my guy? Y'all see his show? Y'all see that show? Y'all see that girl Lola Vice? Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. And to my right, man, we got the man who is blessing us, substituting for Clark Taylor. My man over here don't take no days off.
The eye in the sky. Eye in the sky. He knows everything to do before we do it.
You see all them great articles that you read on the website. This the head. Go ahead, man. Introduce yourself.
Of course, obviously, I do not look like Clark Taylor. I have hair. I have beard hair. I'm not from California either. I am the head of reviewing. I'm the pay-per-view man. I'm the Monday Night Raw man. Whatever you want to say, I'm the hype man. I'm here to talk NXT because I originally was starting and trying out to interview NXT. So NXT, especially since it found that happy medium between the 2.0 and the black and gold, it's always been what has had a special place in my heart as a wrestling fan. I enjoyed it tonight, and of course, we all share the same sentiment as us three and a lot of the other people within Wrestling Republic.
And man, we definitely have quite a show to talk about tonight. A lot of prominent things going on. We got No Mercy in a couple weeks, but the first thing we got to talk about is this Heritage Cup. Man, we had not one, not two, but three matches that went on tonight. We started off the night with the first match of Group A, Butch versus that boy, that dude, that big strong boy, Tyler Bate. Great match. I enjoyed it to the utmost degree. It went down to the final seconds. These guys were going blow for blow, pound for pound. It was a great match. And me and Kobe were watching it. We were like, man, is this going to go to a draw? But that boy Butch, a.k.a. Pete Dunne, as we like to call him, came out with the win. He is going to advance. I want to get you guys your opinion on this first match. I'm going to start with you, Drizzy. How did you feel about this match? And how did you feel about Butch going in, advancing to the Group A?
Man, I absolutely love it. If you peep up with the long-term story of the story that is Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne finally exercised his demons. He been trying to get that monkey off this back for a while now. Because if I'm correct, Tyler Bate been whooping his ass the last few times that they've been in the ring together, and they've always been classics. This is the original NXT UK Finals right here. When they crowned the first champion, this is the match they did, and it did not disappoint at any time. They just fit to it. Like it's honest to God, it's like you get two entities, they fit together as one, and they just flow. Like they just go together so well seamlessly. This match was it was heavy hitting when it needed to be. It was fast when it needed to be. Both of them were real cautious in everything they did because after, like I said, they know each other so well. In one mistake, this time it wasn't a mistake this time. It was more so just trying to speed up because time. You only get 12 minutes in these tournament matches, and that's exactly what they did. They used as much time as possible. They weren't in no rush until that last, I think it was 10 seconds before they got the final pin. The pin, and Bate finally got him. Dunn finally got him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I agree with you 100% on that. This match, like, just they pulled all the tricks out they had, just going blow for blow. And they definitely show remnants of matches they've had prior to. I think you told me when we were watching it, like the last time they wrestled was 2018, if we're not mistaken.
They were the main event. No, they weren't the main event. They were match of the year in 2018, I believe. At NXT Chicago,
When
maybe
Tyler Bate
at
was
a takeover.
19 years old. That is
Man,
crazy.
man, been having bangers for years.
That man is so good for a person for his age. Um, Before I pass it to you, Kobe, I do gotta say this, man. Let's give our props to Noam Dar. This guy makes these matches so much more fun. Obviously, he is the true Heritage Cup, participant winner. But this week we had the Matrix outfits, man. Metaphor all dripped out. Salute to Jakara Jackson, Lash Legend, my man Aura Mensa, and then just the
Man,
whole blue pill, red pill thing. I thought it was really funny, and I love his comedic relief to it. But to that point, man, Kobe, how did you feel about the match? What is your opinion going into the match, and do you think Butch was the right winner for this Group A?
I think we're in the same similar position, and just to clear the air, WWE last had a Bate versus Dunn match with Chicago Takeover Chicago 2017.
there we go.
Their last singles match period was in progress of December of 2018 on their Christmas special unboxing show where not a single match is announced, and it's like you find out as the night goes on. That was the main event. They went 33 minutes in that last encounter. Tonight they had a maximum of 12. And I think from a standpoint of just knowing what these two men are capable of and how good both of them are in the ring, both sides delivered. We look both time deliver they can deliver in a long format and they delivered in the short form. I really liked using each other's finishers. We saw Pete Dunne get the Tyler driver. We saw Tyler Bate use the bitter end. I really like the fact that we saw the return of the better end, which is the pump handle tombstone. Tonight it was almost looked like it was a Michinoku driver, but it was definitely a different pump handle maneuver, and it was called the better end. I think this was the best choice because we're not always going to have Pete Dunne in a position where he's going to be able to be booked on NXT. He is a main roster talent. Tyler Bate should be on the main roster as well. Like he's 26 years old. He's been in NXT probably longer than he's wrestled, and he's still there. I don't necessarily understand that point, but I understand keeping him there because you don't want him to get lost in the shuffle. I think he is a heck of a talent as well. I do think Butch going into the finals, we will talk about that in the future. I do think Butch being there is kind of telling that he might be the one to face Noam Dar, but we'll get into that soon, right, Shad?
Yes, we will get to that very soon. Um, and just to close out my personal thoughts going into this match, also, like y'all said, incredible match, bell for bell. I think it was the correct winner. I love Tyler Bate. I think he's an incredible wrestler, but you have to maximize the TV time and just the availability you have with Butch / Pete Dunne. And I think this is good for Pete Dunne. Obviously, we see what he's been doing with the Brawling Brutes, but I think this kind of refreshes him as a singles character, and it kind of gets you back to the essence of what he was. So I like it, man. It's nostalgic to what we've seen from him prior to it. And yeah, we're not done talking about this topic. But before we get to these other matches, we got some comments, man. And y'all really lit in the comments. First and foremost, shout outs to the bro, Bobby Petito. Hello to you, my friend. Another, person that's with us on Tuesday nights, Matt Williams. Let's go. Let's go. He's asking, where's CT? CT's going Tiger Woods, y'all,
He
on
got
us,
that
man.
there getting that stroke on.
Yeah, man. Also got his shout outs to you in the panel, Dre in the panel, BYT bringing the truth. Hey, salute to you. Thank you for watching with us. And then we got, people agree with what we're saying, man. They like this match between Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And we love the metaphor over here too, man. They are great. They are awesome. But yeah, man, let's continue with the topic of the Heritage Cup because we also had a second match, and this match was between Duke Hudson
Them
and
big
Joe Coffey.
boys.
Yeah,
Them
man,
big boys.
the big boys went to work today, and the ending of this match was what we thought was going to probably happen in the first match. It, ended up being well, no, it didn't end up being a match. Duke Hudson got the match, my fault. But the point wise, it ended up being similar to that because now we got three people in this block that are all tied at 4 points. Before we get to the results and what that led to, I want to get y'all's input on the match itself and what did y'all think about it. I'm gonna start with you this time, Kobe. What'd you think?
I think we're in a position where it was kind of telling the way it went short. It was like, okay, maybe it wasn't going to happen next week because then it would be like, okay, the three-way, then it would be the finals as well. I like the fact that the three-way happened tonight because it played onto the fact that this was a shocker match. Duke Hudson snuck the victory from Joe Coffey. It wasn't as good of a match as the Pete Dunne or the Butch and Bate match, but it was good for what it was. We had two guys who are beefy guys. They're strong. They're able to toss each other around the ring, and they did. And we saw as essentially a sneak victory. I liked it. It wasn't as good, but it didn't need to be better. It needed to serve the purpose in getting us to the triple threat later on in the show.
No, I definitely agree with you on that point. And I like I like the result of the match because it was a unique style to get that triple threat match set up. But I said it early when we were watching it today too. I really like Duke Hudson. He has a lot of remnants of a very agile, athletic, 7 foot big. He is very fluent in the ring. He's strong. He moves well. And like the character work that he has with this whole Chase U is just completely different than a lot of other people in this tournament. He's got a more entertaining aspect to a faction. And it's that obstacle like where everyone you see the crowd, you got the people cheering for him that go to chase you. It adds a different element to it, and it's really creative. And then the other aspect is this: he's the one outlier. He's so different than everybody else that was in this tournament. So that also adds to it. Drizzy, what do you think, man? How'd you feel about the match going into it?
Come here. All right. So a few weeks ago when this thing started, I said Duke Hudson was winning this. What did I tell you? Duke Hudson, the big man in the tournament, the biggest dude in the entire tournament, pulling off the sneaky wins. He went up against the second biggest dude in the tournament, the Mad King himself, Joe Coffey. Big boys beating each other. And again, as Kobe said, this was a story match. So it didn't necessarily need to be the 5-star classic that you would get with a bait done or anything. It served its purpose. It did what it needed to do. And I also said this last week that that Duke was going to win, and we were going to get a triple threat match at some point. Now, I didn't predict that it was going to happen that very night, but a win is a win. So back to you.
Hey man, you've been doing pretty good with these prediction stuff, man. You two one. I mean, you had the Kiana James winning as well, and
I'm, sec- I'm
that
secretly booking this stuff.
that work. Hey, Michael Hickenbottom, are you hiring Drizzy soon, man? Don't
Now
take him away from us.
on my birth certificate it says Michael Hickenbottom. So
Let me get a couple more comments in, man. Y'all really live in the comment section tonight. Bobby Petito says that he did enjoy this match between Duke Hudson and Joe Coffey, as did we. And then Matt Williams is on your side, bro. He said I had Duke Hudson winning as well. Um, as like we mentioned, man, Duke Hudson got the win. There was a little bit of a swerve to what happens next. We had that block 4-4-4 between three people. Gotta say this. What's up with Tozawa, man? My man can't get one win. He can't get a point on the board.
he barely
Come
getting
on.
TV. He barely getting TV time.
I mean, he got more titles than all. Never mind. We're not going into a Tozawa rant, but we had this triple threat match that they set up with the two competitors of the night, as well as Mister I am faster than Usain Bolt, Nathan Frazier. I need them to race now. We need him,
No,
Tyreek Hill, and Nathan Frazier and Usain Bolt all to
no,
have
I
a
don't
race.
know about that now. Usain fast though.
Oh
Like Nathan
man,
Frazier's fast, but Usain Bolt is fast. Like you blink and he's
nah.
there.
Hey, not my words. That's what they said on the show. But we go into this triple threat match, and this was a solid match, man. This was real, you know, creative booking getting into it. Uh, the winner of the night is Joe Coffey. He is going to advance, but I think that Duke Hudson and Nathan Frazier did tremendous work throughout this entire tournament, man. Like I always say, Nathan Frazier to me, he's one of my favorite wrestlers on NXT. The dude moves at a million miles per hour. He's so fluent. He has a crazy move set. You know he be hanging out with HBK and them because he got some nice super kicks. But ultimately, Joe Coffey is the winner, and we are getting a Joe Coffey and Pete Dunne match. Drizzy, I'm gonna toss it to you. Let me know how you feel about, slightly about how this triple threat match went and who you got winning this tournament at the end of it between Butch and Coffee.
Uh, yeah, if like I said earlier, the big man match was not the work rate match that you were looking for. This match was though. Nathan Frazier fast. Everything he did. There's no wasted motion whatsoever. Joe Coffey, pow, big punch you in the mouth to slow you down. Like everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. And then you have Duke Hudson. We said that he was a story. He had like a story match earlier. He told a story in this match, but he also put on a show. There was a sequence, I believe he was on the outside and actually did a slingshot in and grabbed his man in one fluid motion and put him into a German suplex. Yes, I described it, but you need to see it. This a whole lot of athleticism from Duke Hudson in this match, a whole lot of smash mouth from Joe Coffey, a whole lot of speedy moves from Nathan Frazier. And I think in the end, the speedy moves is what did Nathan Frazier in because if you're going pow, pow, pow so much, it's all it takes is one wrong move. And I believe Nathan just in his tunnel vision of trying to get to the finish line, he got snuck out by Joe Coffey. It's just how it is. My predictions for next week. First off, we're having the first NXT UK takeover rematch that we never got between Joe Coffey and Pete Dunne. An absolute banger is going to happen. This match is going to be. They're going to have to start to show off with it. If not, it has to be the main event. It's got to be one of those two because that is going to be a really, really, really good match. I'm still sticking. Well, my personal is gone as of tonight. I'm gonna go with Joe Coffey. I feel like he's been brought in to be the singles guy for Gallus, and he eventually has to break out of that, being their guy on the outside and get his own little stuff going on. And I think it'd be interesting to see a Noam Dar Joe Coffey heritage match. There's a lot of character work. There's a lot of gang activity. Makes for good TV.
Okay, okay. I respect it. Uh, I think I'm gonna go with Butch winning this match. I think that you gotta, like we mentioned, we gotta utilize the most with Butch, and I think with him being more of a baby face aspect to it, I think it'd make a lot of sense with him and Noam Dar having a match and giving Noam Dar an opportunity to shake it up with him for this Heritage Cup. And who knows, man? Maybe even let Butch win and take that on to the main roster, man. Allow Pete Dunne to kind of get a new breath of a character and whatnot. So I'm gonna go a little different. I'm gonna go with Butch. Kobe, who you got winning this?
I'm going in a position where I do want to give the props to, I mean, the two men that wrestled twice in this match because it's not always a thing. Like, I mean, yes, we can have matches where a guy can wrestle in the early. We saw this at All In. MJF and Adam Cole wrestled in the main event, not even the main event, in the very first match in All in Wembley Stadium, and then main evented the pay-per-view. It's a historical feat, but it's not always praised to that level of this. Duke Hudson and Joe Coffey probably had less than an hour to kind of recover, catch their breath, take some water, maybe use the bathroom, all that. And they showed up and had a far better match. All men got their moments. Joe Coffey getting the win was great. I thought it was unexpected. Duke Hudson looked great. That slingshot German is a great move. I've seen it done into a steel barricade on the ground, or no, from a steel slinging shot through a steel barricade onto the apron. It was brutal. Duke Hudson's got a great German, but also you got to give the flowers to Nathan Frazier. He made it look as devastating as he did. He did it. So did Cameron Grimes during their feud during the early 2.0 days. This was great. All men brought a different piece to the puzzle, a different piece to the cake, and it made, or not a piece, a different layer to the cake. It was great. I thought it was a really good and enjoyable triple threat match. Joe Coffey was the unexpected winner. Going into next week, I don't know if I can personally see No Mercy having Noam Dar versus Joe Coffey. Now, we can mention that Mark Coffey also was a Heritage Cup winner. He dethroned Noam Dar before Noam Dar won it back before NXT UK kind of called it quits. So there is a history with Gallus and his Heritage Cup, not with Joe Coffey, but with Mark Coffey, his brother. But I don't see that being the move here. Noam Dar's in a position where he is a heel. I think Butch coming into this as the face is kind of the clear winner. I wouldn't be opposed to Joe Coffey winning it, but I don't see it happening.
Got you. Nah, I think all of these are. It's it's the beauty of good booking and beauty of having great competitors. You really don't know who's going to win, and that's what makes it good. You can paint a good picture. You can create a good path on either direction. Before we get to the next topic, let's get a couple more comments. My man Bobby Petito said that he was rooting for Joe Coffey to win against Pete Dunne tonight. Matt Williams, I know Tozawa is in shambles. Fortunate you don't like to see that. Big Fern, what up, man? Shout me out. Salute to you, bro. And then Matt Williams again said, Nathan Frazier, fastest wrestler I've ever seen wrestle. He runs at 150%. Crazy stuff. Now, let's get to something that was very interesting that we've seen continue, on every weekly television on WWE. It's our favorite heel, man. It's the biggest heel in professional wrestling, man. It's Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
The dirty demographic Don.
He's in the building tonight. He is ready for all the smoke. Word of the Street Profits. But we had a match between him and Carmelo Hayes. Now, prior to that, we had a lot of backstage segments between all of them. And the one that I found the most interesting was they didn't really have to do much with Carmelo Hayes in it, but it had to do with his buddy, Trick Williams. It's like he's a 5-star recruit, and everybody want him, man. We saw
Schism over here. He got Judgment Day over here. Man, I'm sure he's getting recruits from.
Where's
Duke
Andre Chase when you want him?
He's
the real.
Andre Chase
He's looking for the recruits himself.
Chase can catch him at the show.
But the big thing about it is everyone's trying to put the bug in his ear, basically telling him you can't trust your bro, you can't trust Carmelo Hayes, and I find it very interesting because where are we gonna go with Trick Williams after that? So that's one aspect to it. But we did have this match between Carmelo Hayes and Dominic Mysterio. Like Drizzy has said week by week, it feels like Dominic Mysterio is a different guy when he's on these Tuesday night shows, man. It's a different feel. And they had a match, but the match didn't end with a victor. The match ended with a disqualification. And I think the person that took the most bumps tonight was Carmelo Hayes' competitor at No Mercy, Ilya Dragunov. When we saw old boy throw Melo and he hit him and fell off the chair, and then it's the other way, and then Dom smacking him. Dragunov did not have it, man. He was not enjoying any of the foolishness between both of these guys. And he came for blood, man. But it ended at the end of the ring. Dominic was able to escape, and the elbow hit Melo, and both of these guys laying in the middle of the ring. Now, I'm gonna toss it to you first, Drizzy. What do you think is gonna be the direction for Carmelo Hayes going into this main event match that he has? Well, not main event, this title match he has with Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship. And what do you think is going to go on with Trick Williams?
Mm. As far as Trick goes, I don't believe he's going to be joining any of these groups, even though he literally has the entire roster after him, trying to jump his bones. They want him in their group so bad, but I don't see him going anywhere. There's no point. He's trying to. He said he wants to stand up and be his own man. That's exactly what he's gonna do, and I'm still holding out that he's gonna make it all the way to challenge for the belt and stand and deliver. Now, as far as Hayes and Ilya goes, Carmelo is in his own head. He is in his own head because he still has so much self doubt that he should that he could. He doesn't know if he can beat Ilya on his own, and that crisis of confidence is deadly at times. It messes you up in ways that you'll never even think. It's almost like when you sustain an injury, when you come back from it. Say you tore your ACL, you come back, you good step on the field, or you jumping in the ring. The first time you jump, you just kind of try it out, but you still have it in the back of your mind. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I can't do this. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And that's kind of what's going on in the back of Melo's head right now. He's thinking, can I beat him? Maybe I can't. No, I think I can. No, maybe I can't. I don't know. He's doing this just off of pure. I want to prove to myself that I'm really the best, and you not the best if you don't beat Ilya clean. Now, not to say that he didn't beat Ilya clean last time, but there is a bit of controversy stirred up in it. Ilya believes that he should be champion right now. And there are a few people that probably agree with that. And I'm probably one of them. But this match right here is going to be the true test of the test of it. Is Melo truly the best? And was Ilya correct? Two questions that'll be answered in No Mercy.
Nah, I definitely like agree with all that you said on that, man. A lot is to be answered, and I man, it's one of these situations where I think Ilya Dragunov would be the perfect person to take that title off of Melo, and it's just gonna create a new dominant champion who can shake it up with so many people on that roster. And it's like you never dropped the ball. It's like you went from one amazing champ to another amazing champ. Now, speaking of amazing champs, we got to talk about our North American champion,
The
Dominic
demo
Mysterio.
god.
We
The
got to,
ratings master.
and I mean, we got to talk about it, man. This guy is unhinged. He's doing whatever he wants to do. He's going on every show he wants to go. But next Monday, he's got a match where he's got to defend that title, but he's got to fight someone who's not on the Raw roster. He's going against Dragon Lee, someone that he has, had history with in this spectrum of NXT. But looming over there is another person, and I just got to go off this real quick. Mustafa Ali. This guy, I said it a few weeks ago, and I'm going to stand by it. His everything you need to be a dominant figure on your programming and being a dominant figure to be a champion. And I'm not saying he's going to be like Gunther beating everybody down, but how he plays within his character and how he does within his in-ring work, I feel like that's the guy who needs to get the belt off of Dirty Dom and have a strong reign on the NXT show. Now, if that's going to happen, I'm not sure, because you have a moment on Monday night with Dragon Lee in a Raw crowd, knowing they hate Dominic Mysterio. You let him get a win over Dom, you instantly make a superstar right there, just because of how much heat he gets and how much the crowd is against him. These people won't even know Dragon Lee like that unless you're a real like wrestling fan like we are. These people that go to Raw, these casual fans, might not know him that night. He comes out beating Dom, a person they see every night, and they come in that arena, pay money to boo. You become a hero, man. You become a star. And I really feel like they need to take that opportunity. As much as I love Ali, I think he could probably get it off of Dragon Lee after. I want to see Ali as champ. Feel like you can't miss on the moment with Dragon Lee. Kobe, I'm going to pass it to you, man. What is your take? What do you feel is going to be the direction of this North American title?
Well, that's the thing is I like the way you said this, and I like the fact that we are in a bit of a three-way rivalry for this North American Championship. But the fact of the matter is we have someone who is very much a tweener, and if we look at the scheduled match at No Mercy, it is a tweener versus our heel Dominic Mysterio. Our tweener, yes, would get not would get heat, but he would get over. He would get the cheers. He wouldn't be booed over Dom come the match. But if I'm looking completely storyline wise, it 100% makes a lot of sense for Dragon Lee to show up to Monday Night Raw, to be the one to say, I'm going to be the one to beat you on your home turf, show that, like, defend Rey Mysterio. We have the Judgment Day. We can see that maybe there's an Uso or a Sammy and Kevin and Cody scenario where a priest tries to help and someone runs down. There's a lot of shenanigans that can be played in. But I think at the end of the day, there's one way you can do this. And if that is Dragon Lee winning that championship on Monday Night Raw, you have to that quickly, just like that, take away that moment. You have to have Mustafa Ali stand tall by attacking him, because then that solidifies Ali is this heel in this feud. You can fade Dominic away from the title picture, and then you can really push a Dragon Lee versus Mustafa Ali match, which was fun and enjoyable with Dom as the referee. But this is unhinged. This is untethered. If that is the match at No Mercy, that has the potential to be one of the most classic NXT PLE matches of this year. And there's been a lot of really, really good matches this year on the PLEs for NXT.
Nah, I agree with you 100% on that too, man.
I
You
want
can't go wrong with these competitors, man. These guys put in the work in ring, and they've been giving us banger after banger after banger. Word to Sheamus.
I want
Couple
to point
more.
out one more thing. I want to point out one more thing
Go
before you go
ahead.
into that. You noticed something when Dom was out there tonight? Did you miss that Rhea wasn't around? You
That's
love the
true.
presence. There
There
was
was
no
there was
mention
a
of Rhea.
moment.
Now
Like
he's not that guy when
There was a
mommy's
moment.
not there. That's
he's he's not, but he was able to hold his own without Rhea being there. So we can go ahead and kill this stigma that he's only interested when Rhea's out there, because he was interested tonight. No Rhea. He was interested Monday night. No Rhea.
yeah, the Dominic Mysterio like hate at this point. Like unless you're hating him just off of the heel aspect and for kayfabe, but like to genuinely like not admit that he's not doing a good job with his character.
Join us. Join us.
We the Dominic
Embrace
Mysterio fan club here, man. I'm sorry
embrace
if
the
you're not a
flag.
fan. If you don't like that, you might just need to step off the show. But
Embrace the
I mean,
purple.
I mean that's the thing. We are all three a part of this club because Clark Taylor is not here. Clark is the resident Dominic hater
he
among the group,
is, he
If
among
I
the
had
is.
Republic.
if I
So
had a
we
if I
are
had a
in
purple light,
unity right here.
if I had a purple light right now, I'd cut it on. I'm gonna invest in a purple light, so every time we talk about Judgment Day, there'll be purple in the background.
Turn it on.
Yeah, man. Let's get a couple comments, man. Matt Williams, you have a theory. Trick Williams has been working with Tony D'Angelo this whole time. That's interesting. I don't think that's the case, but hey, man, I'll let you think that. Bobby saying he looking forward to Dragon Lee wrestle on Raw, as are we. And yeah, he thinks Mustafa Ali should be the one to beat Dominic Mysterio. Hey, man, we just have to wait and see. Now let's get into what started the show, into what ended the show. And I'm the biggest Tiffany Stratton fan,
Oh,
but
wait, wait, wait,
tonight,
wait, 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 wait. We forgot one thing. We got to talk about it because we got to talk about it. But I just must acknowledge that Lola Vice was on TV tonight. That's all I needed. This was your Pack 'em Up Gang paid subscription, paid advertisement. This is brought to you by the Pack 'em Up Gang. Lola Vice was on TV tonight. It was great for all of us. It was a great sight. I'm gonna go watch the match back just to see her. I don't even have anything to say about the match. She was on TV. That's all I care about.
brief second on that. I think she did a good job versus Roxanne Perez. I think the strategy of going for her arm was good. Roxanne Perez is so good at this, man. That girl is so good in the ring, and she made her look strong. But salute to them ladies. They did what they had to do. They did a
Mhm.
solid match.
Yep.
Continuing on to the ladies, man. The man, when life hands you lemons, Becky Lynch, our NXT champion, dethroning my favorite female wrestler, Tiffany Stratton, last week. But Becky's back here, and Becky's here. She's here for a long time, as long as she's the champion. Cuts the promo, was doing a little bit of a rap. I like it. I'm a battle rapper. I like the rhyming that she had, kind of giving some props to everybody backstage, which when you have someone like Becky doing that, I think that's very, very good for them. But she's telling Tiffany Stratton that rematch is set in stone for whenever you want it. Tiffy comes out and she tells her that she doesn't want to wrestle her in that little arena where they wrestle every week. No, her rematch is going to be on a big stage versus
Mhm.
Big Time Bex, and they're going to have a match at No Mercy. So we got that set up. That is going to be a very, very great match. And we'll talk about what kind of match it is later on as we talk about this segment. But we're getting a rematch, and going into it, more stuff happens, man. We get, no, everyone's got the target on Becky, Kiana James, and her. Come on, guys, let's fight fair. They set themselves up for a handicap match, but it does not become a handicap match as the match unrolls. We get a tag team match between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria versus Kiana James and Tiffany Stratton. Now, let me just say this first before I pass it to you, Drizzy. Tiffany Stratton and Kiana James have a very special dynamic as a tag team, as a faction, as a unit. I don't know what it is just yet. I don't know if it is going to be a thing, but their interaction, their aesthetic, how they're both very good heels, it's got me intrigued. It got me interested. This match was pretty good, to be honest with you. I think they had a great match. I said it last week. Lyra reminds me of a mini Becky Lynch. She's got a very similar move set to her. Very clean, very sharp kicks. Got some nice moves off the ropes and all of that. They get the win. What happens after that? Tiffy is unhinged and she hitting him with the steel chair. Man, we are going to get a street fight at No Mercy. I'm excited for it. Hopefully, it will be Tiffy time again. I'm a big fan of both women. Drizzy, what are your thoughts on this segment? And who's going to win at No Mercy?
Becky did what Becky does. Quick witted on the mic. Always a great promo, and actually spoke very highly of Tiffany Stratton, which I don't think anybody was really expecting. But you can't deny Tiffany Stratton put on one hell of a show last week. As far as the night went, I don't know what it is, but they've been putting people together that it just fits. It just clicks. It just makes sense. Tiffany Stratton and Kiana James, it just made sense. It gave me Clueless vibes. You get Cher and Dion, and they just click. It just fit. I want to see more of it. If after this, if Tiffany does not win the NXT Women's Champion like I think she will, I would not hate seeing them go after Tag Gold. I know they're supposed to be having those women tag titles go on all three brands. This might be a good team to go after those belts. I don't hate it. Listen, like I said earlier, Becky and Tiffany. I want Tiffany to take the belt off of her because this is going to elevate her more. It's going to put her on a higher level. This is going to be big. That's the big time right there. You beat Becky Lynch on a big stage like No Mercy. Welcome to the big time, Tiffany. And I really believe she is capable of rising to that level. If you seen what she did last week against Becky, one mistake. That's all it was one mistake. If she can wrestle, if she's shown she can do everything to keep up with Becky. So I put my money on Tiffany. I think she'll bring the belt home. But if not, we got somewhere for her to go afterwards.
Nah, I agree. I agree with everything that you're saying on that. I think having her get the title back at No Mercy versus Becky Lynch, that'll mean a lot, man. I think you especially with the format of what the match is, it doesn't there's gonna be, an additional help to it where it still makes Becky look strong in defeat, but it makes Tiffany look like an incredible star. I said it a couple months ago. The people on the Instagram reel laughed at me, and I stand by it. Best under 25 women's wrestler in the world is Miss Tiffany Stratton. Kobe, what are your thoughts going into this, man? Are you enjoying this Becky Lynch and NXT dynamic? And who do you think is going to win at No Mercy?
I think that's the thing. We got a lot of talk about this being one of the. We have an NXT main roster talent winning a title and not putting over someone because she's put over Tiffany in the great match and especially on the mic. And I really like this, and I think these are very effective runs. We saw Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins have a phenomenal match. We saw Becky Lynch come in and do the same thing with Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton's got to be one of the best women's wrestlers under 25 because she is 24. I fully agree with that statement. No Mercy, we are in an interesting position because we have a feud, a rivalry, and two men that are winning it back. Because Great American Bash had Carmelo Hayes versus Dragunov 1. This is Carmelo Hayes versus Dragunov 2. I'm expecting a lot more. I'm expecting them to probably do a third this year, if not next year, as Stand and Deliver between them, the two of them. But if you're going to sit here and say NXT No Mercy, the PLE is going to have Becky Lynch on the card, to me, that's your bona fide main event. And I think Tiffany Stratton versus Becky Lynch in an Extreme Rules match with that stipulation, with that pressure, I fully intend to believe that Tiffany Stratton's going to rise to the occasion. She's going to deliver. She's going to look great against Becky Lynch I think that's her second stipulation because she did the ladder match earlier this year. I guess she did a submission match as well. So even if you want to say third, it's her third kind of non-singles match where now we're going to have weapons. There should be great spots out of these two. I'd like to see a swanton after something. I'd like to see a moonsault through a table. There's a lot of stuff we can do between these two. I'm excited for it. I believe that's your main event for No Mercy, and I very much am ready for it to deliver and ready for it to be one of the best women's matches of this year. And we already saw Becky Lynch took Trish Stratus to one of Trish's best matches as well. I believe Becky Lynch is, if not the greatest women's wrestler in that company, because she's been able to work with so many stars and to have their matches be the best with them. Charlotte Flair is one. Sasha Banks had a great Hell in a Cell match with her. We have Bianca Belair. Some people say the Mania match with Belair and Sasha was better. I personally believe Belair and Lynch was much better. Becky Lynch is one of those girls that if you cannot work with Becky Lynch, there's issues there. And Tiffany Stratton has.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I said it before, man. Becky Lynch, one of the goats in this business, man. But hey, man, that's everything over the night, man. A very eventful NXT. I appreciate you two gentlemen for rocking with me tonight, man. Clark will be back next week, but it's been a great night. We'll be back tomorrow. What is it? 3 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Central time.
We can't do it right off them times like
12
Clark do.
Pacific. I don't know what it is out in the UK, but
It's something
y'all
we
know what time it is. If y'all don't have your notification bell, what's wrong with y'all, man? We appreciate y'all, man. This has been Wrestling Off Air NXT Review, and we'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Y'all take care. Peace.